Okay. In this video, we're going to go ahead and cover measuring constructing segments, which ideally is we're just measuring a line, and we're determining how long it is, or whether how long it is, what it how it's presented to us in different ways. So let's go ahead and start. So measuring constructing segments. So measuring. Think of it as a ruler from this point all the way to this point. How long would that be? In this case, from C all the way to B would be 10. From A to B, how long would it be from 4 to 8? 4. So measuring, just think of it as distance or length. And as you know, that distance is always positive. Then it's never a negative number. Now constructing, think of it as a way of constructing segments. Think of it as sketching. You know how we've been doing in class that we have. They give us certain points, and we are asked to draw the picture. Now you're gonna have to draw the picture correctly for you to understand what you're trying to solve for. Okay. So in this case, it will be length. So finding the length of a segment is one of the main ideas of this section. Sketching a segment. In this case, is constructing. We're constructing a segment. Now, if you remember from the first week, we were covering. We did a worksheet. It was called Equations in Geometry. It had it involved segment addition and also involved midpoint. Now, if you remember from what these two did, then kudos to you. But for the most part, we're going to go ahead and review segment addition and midpoint, just in case if it happens to slip your mind. So, but first, let's go ahead and start with measuring segments. So we're asked to find the length from C to A, and we also find the length from A to B. Now, what's really important is that you should you should just be able to remember that distance is always positive, and one of the ways of actually measuring from one point to another is simply by counting. If you're given the line, go ahead and just count. But there's another way. You can also go ahead and find AB is equal to the absolute value, which is these two little bars, vertical bars, A minus B or B minus A. Now, that means that we can go ahead and subtract 4 minus 8, and that'll give you a negative 4. And the absolute value of negative 4 will be just 4. Okay, and 8 minus 4 and B minus A. So it would be 8 minus 4, which equals positive 4. And which is also just a positive 4, which means over here. So let's go ahead and try CA. So let's go ahead. CA is equal to C minus A. So then C is negative 2 minus A, which is 4. So then negative 2 minus 4 equals negative 6. Absolute value of negative 6 is always 6. Now, when we take the absolute value of something, then we always take the positive number of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and try A minus C. Okay, what should these result into? It should result into the same number, the same value, same distance that you're looking for. So A in this case was 4, then minus a negative 2. So minus a negative 2 would go positive 2. 4 plus 2, which equals 6. Okay? And it's still the same thing. It still represents the same thing. Okay? So here, the length of C to A is just 6. So distance from A to B, which I was just talking about, we get AB is equal to, let's go A minus B. Let's go ahead and B minus A. Now you can use either one of them. They will still give you the same answer. So A in this case would be 4 minus B, which is 8. 4 minus 8 equals negative 4. Absolute value of everything will just give you a positive 4 for AB. So AB is equal to 4. What do you think B minus A is? If you said a positive 4, then you're correct. So A minus 4. 4, absolute value of 4 equals 4. Okay, and there you go. Okay, that would be 1 and 2 here. So that's just measuring the length. Find the length of C to A. Okay, so CA, then we're just looking for the distance from C to A or A to C distance from A to B, or from B to A. Okay, so just a reminder on that. Okay, now this is where we're going to start working on it. This is where we started working on the first week of school. Then we were working with either segment addition or it was midpoint. Okay, so segment addition. The key word with segment addition is what here. B is between A and C. Find AB. What's the key word between all this? It's the word between. Okay, so whenever you see B is between A and C, find AB. Go ahead and circle the word between. Word between should be related to segment addition. Okay, now what would be the difference between what's the difference between the word between and the word midpoint? Okay, it's just a way of actually saying that you could be in any single, let's go and construct our line. Okay, so A will be at one endpoint, C is at the other, B is between. B can be along any one of these lines, any single one of these points, but it's not at the midpoint. Okay, so from A to B. Okay, so segment addition. We know that from A to B and from B to C, that they're pieces. They're not equal to each other. Okay, they're not equal to each other. Okay, because we don't know if B is at the very middle. Okay, we don't know if B cuts the whole entire line in half. So we don't know that. So from A to B is 3x. From B to C is x. And from A to C, we know how long it is, which is 16 plus 2x. Now that's the whole sketching part. That's the sketching part of this problem. Now let's go ahead and what are we asked to find initially? Always remember what we're asked to find. We're asked to find AB. So we're asked to find this. Okay? So let's go ahead and circle that. Now how do we set this up? Segment addition. A to B, B to C, and then we're given AC. So we should know that from A to B, we go ahead 3x, and from BC, we should go ahead and add it. Plus x equals our whole entire line. So imagine having two candy bars of different lengths. So one candy bar and then candy bar number 2 is equal to however long the whole candy bars are all together. So here in this case, we have 3x, x, and 16 plus 2x. So then let's go ahead and start putting them both together. So the first step is set up your equation. Okay, so first step right here, set up your equation. And 2, solve for your variable. I'm running out of space. So solve for your variable. Okay, so what's our variable in this case? It should just be x. So 3x plus x should be 4x equals 16 plus 2x. So we have to get all x's on one side, so we have to subtract by 2x. So we have 16 and 4 minus 2x equals 2x. And then we divide by 2. So then we have x is equal to 8. Now are we finished here? No, we're not. Okay, because we're asked to find for what's asked for. Okay, so then x equals 8 and plug it back into here. So we have 3 times 8 equals 24. Okay, and that will be it for problem 3 in part A. Okay, so let me go see you in the next video.